Good morning, friend. We are going to be tackling some organizational and cleaning projects today. But first, I want to get going on part of tonight's dinner. If you are new to my kitchen, welcome. My name is Becky, and tonight is Halloween. And so we are actually going to my sister's in-laws' house tonight for dinner. We're having a big costume dress-up party, and there's gonna be a big taco bar there. My sister asked me to bring the chicken for the taco bar. I'm not actually gonna cook this chicken in the slow cooker. I am gonna do something I've never done before. I really like grilled chicken, and part of our project we're gonna do today is actually tackle cleaning the grow room and the back patio. It's not raining. It's supposed to at sunset, of course. Is it 5:59 or 5:56 tonight? And it's supposed to start raining at 6 o'clock. And then it's supposed to rain for 10 days. So I kind of want to do some cleaning and organizational stuff on the patio and in my grow room, because I haven't cleaned the grow room since growing all the starts and brooding the chickens in there. So it's kind of a mess. But what I want to do first is get some chicken thighs marinating. I have 12 relatively large chicken thighs here. These, I'm going to cut the excess pieces of fat off. I'm going to get them marinating. We're going to go clean and do organizational projects. Then we're going to grill the chicken, chop it up, and I'm going to keep it warm in the slow cooker. I don't really want pulled, slow cooked chicken. I want grilled chicken. So we're gonna grill it, and I'm gonna see if I can keep it nice and warm in the slow cooker for tonight's dinner. There is going to be, I think, like 30 people at tonight's dinner, and everyone, it's potluck style, so everyone's bringing something for the taco bar, and I'm gonna bring the chicken. So I'm just gonna cut off any excess pieces of fat. I like to do that when I work with chicken thighs, just to make it a little bit more pleasant to eat. If that fat doesn't render down on the grill, I don't really like to bite into it. I also got a fun, exciting box in the mail yesterday. We're gonna open up in just a minute together before we do some organizational projects. I pulled these chicken thighs out of the freezer yesterday, so some of them are still a little bit frozen. So while they marinate, they will continue to thaw. I have a few hours to myself in the house today, and I have a good energy. I slept very well, which, if you're new, I just got into my 3rd trimester of my 2nd pregnancy, so sleeping well is a blessing. And yesterday was a very relaxing day. I took a morning nap, I took an afternoon nap, and I got basically hardly anything done except rest, which rest can be productive. And so today I feel great, and I feel like I can tackle the world. So that's why I thought today would be a good day on this few hour kind of house quiet to myself. Let's take advantage and tackle a project, honestly, I've been putting off for months. And it's not that I've been putting it off because I don't want to do it, but also I've been getting other things done. So that's okay. These are huge chicken thighs, so I think 12 will be enough, because we are gonna have ground beef, and there's gonna be rice and beans and tortillas and all sorts of other things. And if you don't mind the fat on your chicken thighs, leave it on. I just know that my family prefers not to bite into that, so I'll take the time to cut it off. My chicken is all prepped, ready to go so we can make the marinade. I had to run downstairs to grab some chipotles in adobo, so I grabbed my wild grain box that came in the mail yesterday, and we're gonna open this after we finish this chicken. Wild Grain is sponsoring today's video, and I'm super grateful that you are here so that I can be sponsored by a company where I've been using their products before they reached out to be a sponsor of my channel. And I'm really excited to share with you what we got today. I may have had Josh already take a picture because he brought that downstairs for me yesterday. And I know what's inside the box, and I can't wait to share with you what's inside the box. But first, we need to get tonight's dinner marinating. So I'm gonna grab a couple ingredients that I have over here. We're gonna make a honey chipotle marinade to go onto this chicken. And this is one of my favorite ingredients, which is chipotles in adobo. And this is my new favorite find. Normally when I buy chipotles in adobo in the past, I buy the chipotles in a can, and I just found this recently where it's in a jar with a lid. And the nice thing about this one is it's already pre-minced, so you don't have to chop up your whole chipotles, and it has a lid so I can just pop it back in the fridge. So that's really, really nice. So if your grocery store has those, I would try it out. You might love it. So now I'm just going to kind of basically follow my honey chipotle recipe. I can link this recipe down below for you. I am not really following it exactly. This is honey from our bees. Probably adding a little more honey than I normally would just because I know there's going to be quite a few kids there tonight. I've added oil, chipotles in adobo, honey, salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika. You can do this any ratio you like. I'm just going to eyeball it today. Cumin, coriander, and then I think I have some freeze-dried cilantro. I know I don't have any fresh cilantro right now. Found some. This cilantro is from not this year's garden. My garden did not grow cilantro this year very well. This is from last year's garden. Perfect. Now, obviously I'm not gonna be able to taste that, so we're just gonna put all these ingredients away. If you wanna taste your marinades before you put them on your proteins, you can mix them up in a bowl first and then taste it and then pour it over your protein. I've made this enough. I think this ratio should be pretty good. All right, I'm gonna pop this in the fridge and I'll grill this closer to when we're going to my sister's house. My thought with this is that we'll marinate it all day. I'll grill it, chop it up, it'll still be warm. We'll pop it in the slow cooker on the warm setting, and then we'll head straight to my sister's house, or my sister's in-laws house. Now that that's in the fridge marinating, let's go through the wild grain box that I just got. I typically do build your own boxes when I order myself. This was one that they sent to me that is one of their holiday boxes. So it's kind of fun. So there's gonna be stuff in here that I have not ordered or tried. And we're gonna bake something up today to give it a taste test. I started ordering from them because they are the first bake from frozen sourdough subscription boxes. You all know I am a baker, but I am not a sourdough baker. And what I typically order from them every time I order are their English muffins, their sourdough bagels, their sourdough brioche hamburger buns, and their sourdough loaves. And they're so good. They specialize not only in sourdough, but they also specialize in pastries. So I got their croissants. Their croissants are phenomenal and they're made with butter. I also got their churned French butter. I've gotten 3 of these. It's fantastic butter. This is something new to me. This is a tear apart cranberry pecan roll. That would be delicious. So if you want some easy holiday baked goods that you don't want to bake yourself, this might be a good option for you. This sounds incredible. I have tried their biscuits, but not this one. This is a Parmesan herb biscuit. So all of these things are frozen and you just bake straight from frozen. What is this? Apple pie bites, a sourdough loaf. This is something I've ordered many times and it's delicious. And then this is what I was thinking we would bake up together. These are their giant ginger molasses cookies. I have not tried any of their cookies yet, so that's why I wanted to bake these up with you and give them a try. The ingredients on this are wheat flour, sugar, butter, molasses, crystallized ginger, brown sugar, eggs, pineapple juice, ginger puree, baking soda, ginger, cinnamon, salt, clove, and allspice. Another reason I started ordering from them is they use ingredients that I would typically have in my house, which I think is pretty cool. So for these giant ginger cookies, it says preheat your oven to 350, place cookies on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, frozen. Put them in the middle rack. We're gonna bake them for 16 to 20 minutes. We'll let them sit for 5 minutes. and then we get to enjoy them. So I'm gonna put these here. I'm gonna throw these in my freezer and we get to enjoy these later. These croissants are incredible. If you like a buttery croissant, I would highly recommend these. You bake them from frozen. You don't have to thaw them or anything. You preheat your oven to 375. You place the frozen croissants on a baking sheet with parchment paper. You put them in the oven and you bake them for 18 to 20 minutes and you have deliciously baked up croissants. I'm not gonna bake those now. I'm gonna throw these goodies in the freezer. I'm gonna put this in the fridge so we can enjoy this for eating this week. And once the oven's preheated, we're gonna bake up those cookies. From the boxes I have ordered, I've been kind of squirreling away the bagels and the English muffins that I ordered so that next time we do a big freezer cooking breakfast day together, I can make more breakfast sandwiches. Now it did say these cookies get huge, so make sure you space them out accordingly. So I'm thinking I'm only gonna get 5 on each tray. Ginger cookies are one of Josh and I's favorite cookies. I didn't eat them growing up, but I made them when we were first married, and I know Josh is gonna be really excited to try these. I'm glad these came in my box this time. I'm still waiting for my oven to preheat, so let me take you outside and show you the grow room, what state it's in. This has kind of become a little bit of a catch-all because it's super just kind of dusty in here and not the most pleasant place to be in here because we were brooding chickens in here. So I have not been using my freeze dryer because I wanted to get this area clean and tidy before using my freeze dryer. Just everything is super dusty. So we're gonna tackle that. And we're also gonna tackle out here. I need to tackle that room before I can put all of our outdoor furniture cushions in there. I think they've been okay under this kind of protective thing, but I don't really want all these cushions out here all winter long. And so I need to get that room clean so I can put them in there. I did that last year and it worked out really well. And I wanna get rid of these rugs. I bought these rugs last year and I just don't think they're gonna make it through another winter out here. So we're going to move all this inside, get this clean, and just spend the next few hours organizing and cleaning. But before we do any of that, we're gonna get these cookies in the oven. My oven has preheated to 350. And let me make sure I set a timer so I do not forget about those, because while those are baking, we're gonna start cleaning and organizing. I'm gonna start with 16 minutes and then we'll come in and check on them. Whenever I make cookies, I always like to err on the less time than overtime, and then I could add more time. I do have some gloves here. I've got a towel here. We're gonna vacuum everything down first. I've got a couple of these Danish dishcloths. I'm gonna go ahead and get these dampened, and I'm gonna bring some cleaner out there. I am in this cleaning and organizational mood lately. One would call it nesting, I think. And I'm excited to finally tackle this room. Let's get some lights on. That's a fan, not some lights. My goal, I think, in here is actually gonna be to vacuum everything down first, just to kind of get the dust and dirt level down in here. I wanna organize all of the stuff on the shelf and just kind of clean up this area. I think first what we're gonna start with while we wait for our cookies to cook is actually get these hanging baskets out of here. I do not want to store these in here. I'm gonna try, I think, next year to make my own hanging baskets. Last year I bought 2 hanging baskets and I made 2. And honestly, the 2 that I made lasted and looked better for longer. And they were half the price. So I want to save these because I like these wire hanging baskets with the, I don't know what that's called, the coconut core or something like that. But I don't really want to store them in here, so we're going to get these out of here because I'm going to put my cushions eventually on these shelves. I thought that this shed would be a better place to store these because I have plenty of room in here. And I'm also going to get my tomato cages back in this shed. I did not use tomato cages this year, and that means these tomato cages that have been sitting outside this shed have been sitting out for over a year. I got too many here. It's like one of those things, it's gonna take me just a couple minutes to get these tomato cages in the shed, but it also took me a year and a half to get these tomato cages in the shed. I really only grew vining tomatoes this last year, so I didn't need these. That feels like an accomplishment. Classic. Putting off something that takes a minute for far too long. Okay, now back onto organizing and cleaning the grow room. Now this will take me some time to get this done, but that's okay because I've dedicated a few hours to get it done today. And it will feel really good to get it done. I know a bunch of this stuff is actually just needs to be recycled. So let's just get this stuff out of here that I know just needs to be recycled. And or just staged somewhere different. We'll just start like a garbage bag and a recycle bag. Okay, I'm gonna break all these boxes down, get the recycle in the recycle and the garbage in the garbage. Just so that we can make room for bringing something else in. This we're just going to use to clean. It won't live in here. And you know, this garbage can is not actually a garbage can. It is, I don't know if you can see it. This is what I put my shavings in, so that needs to go down to the chicken area. I thought it would be easiest to just start with shop vacuuming and just getting some of the dirt and dust out of here, and then we can keep organizing, just so it's not quite so dusty and dirty in here. I'm gonna pick some stuff up first. A lot of these things I wanna put on a shelf over there that I need to clean first. This is mostly just vinegar, some slug killer, salt. This is soap to kill weeds. I'm just gonna move this stuff out of here, just to make space. This is chicken snacks. So I'm gonna get the chicken stuff in this garbage can, and I will bring all the chicken stuff down at one time as I collect the chicken stuff. But I do want to vacuum that situation first. This can get out of here. Now, because it is kind of spooky season, let me show you just how spooky this room is right now. Can you see all the cobwebs? The dead flies. It's really bad in here. We're gonna tackle all of this today. I cannot believe how many cobwebs are in this room. It makes me wonder if this time of year when this room is not really being used, if there's always this many cobwebs and I just don't see it because there's not quite as much dust that's highlighting the cobwebs or what. But that's really what was bothering me and really wanting me to get out here. Well, I mean, obviously the whole room was a disaster. I mean, look at it. There's dirt and debris. A lot of this dirt is from actual garden produce coming in here. The leaves and dried bits of debris are from the garlic. I actually cured my garlic in here, which worked really well. And the dust just stuck to the cobwebs and just made everything really obvious that this room needed attention. So I figured what I would do is just go through and give everything a good vacuum first, because I mean, you can kind of see that there's like dust floating around in the air. I wanted to reduce as much dust in the air as possible. So I figured the best way to do that would be just to get in here and try to vacuum everything really, really well. This shop vac Josh and I invested in when we bought our first house. We did a huge remodel project on our first house, and this shop vac has just, we've gotten our money's worth for sure when it comes to the shop vac. So here you can even see that there's some dirt, there's dead bugs, and I just thought instead of sweeping it up and like making more dust and dirt and debris just floating around in the air, let's just vacuum everything down. I end up, you're gonna see, we'll get to it, but I end up vacuuming the walls, the ceiling, the floors. Just vacuuming alone probably took, I would say, a good hour, and I think it was well worth it. I think it was a good call getting the shop vac out and kind of reducing the overall dust and debris. My timer just went off. These look perfect. They smell even better. I could smell them out there. I'm gonna let them cool for just a little bit, and then we'll be back to do a taste test. I do want to wash up a little bit though before we do our taste test. Now we are back at vacuuming. Again, this took quite a bit of time, but I think it was well worth it and the correct call. I will say, I'm going to show you what the chicken looks like that we have marinating right now for tonight's dinner that I'm taking to my sister's in-laws. It worked perfectly. I will show you what it looks like cooked up, but I just wanted to let you know that if you need to bring chicken somewhere and you want to bring to like a potluck or a family event or whatever it might be, and you want to bring grilled chicken and not like slow cooker, braised, fall apart shredded chicken, it works really, really well to preheat your slow cooker. So that's what I did. So basically I took my chicken out of the refrigerator when I turned my grill on. I usually turn my grill on about 20 minutes before I want to use it because I don't clean it when I'm done using it. When I take whatever I'm cooking on the grill off the grill, I go ahead and just turn it off, because I am one that if I was to leave it on to clean it right after I use it, I will completely forget and I will empty a propane tank. So what I do is about 20 minutes before I want to grill something, I'll turn the grill on. I took my chicken out of the fridge and just let that sit at the counter while the grill was heating up so that I could give it a good scrub. I mean, look at this. This is so bad. And this is why I have not used my freeze dryer basically all summer, because it's in this room and I did not want all this dust getting into the machine. Plus this dust is sitting on the freeze dryer and the freeze dryer needs to be cleaned, and yeah. So anyway, back to the chicken. So I preheat the grill. I get the grill nice and scrubbed up. I throw the chicken on the grill. I grill it until it reaches the proper internal temperature. When I cook chicken thighs, I actually prefer them to be cooked to about 175, 180. You only have to cook them technically until the internal temperature reaches 165 Fahrenheit, but I like my chicken thighs a little bit cooked more on the well done side. So I usually cook them, I like the texture of it better. So I usually cook them to about 175, 180. I took them off the grill. I let them rest for about 15 minutes. I chopped them up, and I had already turned on my slow cooker to high when I put my chicken on the grill, so the actual inside of the slow cooker was hot. And then once I chopped up my chicken after I let it rest, I put it into the preheated slow cooker. I turned the slow cooker on keep warm at that point because I obviously don't need to cook the chicken. I just wanted to keep it warm. I wanted to make sure that the crock part of the slow cooker was nice and warmed through so that the chicken would stay warm basically from the ride from our house to my sister's in-laws house. And it worked perfect. It was so, so good. The marinade was good. It was a good balance for everyone. I didn't make it too spicy. I've been known to make things sometimes too spicy, but I was trying to be a little bit more aware of that. So adding that little extra honey was perfect. And so just for future, if you ever want to bring grilled chicken in the slow cooker somewhere, that works out great. So here I've kind of been working my way around the room vacuuming. I started on the side by the windows, and then I went over kind of under where the table is for the freeze dryer. And then I worked where that water heater is. And then I've been kind of organizing this shelf where I start all of my seeds. So I call this my grow room if you're new, because I have a very large garden and I start a lot of my own veggie starts and flower starts, and I do that in here. And so this is where I do that. And I was thinking that one of the reasons I kind of wanted to get this done now, as opposed to waiting right before I'm going to start my seeds for next year's garden, is one, this room is not really functional right now because anytime I go in there, it's kind of depressing and overwhelming just because it's so messy. So I want to be able to go in there if I need something and feel inspired. and so that's one reason I wanted to get it done. Another reason I wanted to get done is I knew that once baby girl comes, I'm not going to want to do a deep clean project like this before starting seeds. That's not going to make me get excited about getting out there and starting seeds in the winter or early spring, I should say. I usually don't start very many things in the winter. Usually it's really early spring when I start my seeds. And so I thought that it would be a kind of a gift to myself if I was to get out there as soon as I could, which was the day that I'm doing this, and get it cleaned up. So that's what we're doing. I can keep areas cleaner better for longer if they are clean. If they are unorganized and messy, then I am way more guilty of just making the problem worse, like just throwing stuff on top of already what is messy. So I wanted to get this taken care of. So while I've been working on this shelf, I've been trying to make little piles. I've got a big black garbage bag out, so I'm making sure I'm trying to throw garbage away. I'm organizing all of my seed cells and trays. One thing I did do already this year when I was done with all of my trays that I put my plants on, I already did scrub those with soap and water. I can wash my cells in the dishwasher that I actually put the soil and seeds in, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that before I end up starting seeds. And now I'm just vacuuming this. So this room gets messy because obviously I start seeds in here, so I actually bring literal dirt in here. It was dusty because I brooded chickens in here, and I don't know if I'm going to do that again. I think maybe if I brood chickens, I will not do that. I don't know what I'm going to do. For some reason, this felt like it just got so dusty. I have brooded chickens one other time. It was 5 years ago when I got my first batch of chickens, and I just don't remember it being this dusty. I think we ended up having the chickens go outside sooner. I think I ended up having the chickens inside a little bit longer than necessary. So maybe that's why it got a little bit dustier than I remember. But I'm trying to just clean every area. So this is where I keep some of the cells, I don't know what those are called, the pots from when I purchased plants. I like to reuse those as well. I don't keep every pot, but the nicer ones that stack well, I like to keep. And I went ahead and got each of those drawers that I keep those in nice and vacuumed. And I went ahead and threw away any garbage or any of the pots that I don't want to keep, because some of them are sizes that I don't really use anymore. So I went ahead and just tossed those, and just trying to give this area a nice clean slate so that we can go into this winter and the rest of the fall with a nice clean area. Basically just in time to get messy again. It won't get this messy again because I'm not going to be brooding chickens next year in it. Josh just got home, so we are going to take a little bit of a break together, have some coffee, and try those cookies and just sit down, have a little break. I feel really good where we're at here. Everything has been vacuumed down once. I think I'm gonna come through. I wanna vacuum these shelves, vacuum everything one more time, and then we're gonna come in and wipe everything down. And I'm gonna have Josh bring down when we come back out here, he will take care of this rack. This was perfect. This was left from the previous owners. That worked perfect to brood the chickens. And then I will have him take care of this and bring that down to the chicks as well, which will be great. The house smells so good because those cookies smell incredible. There should be just enough coffee. You can each have a cup of coffee and a cookie. Smells good in here, doesn't it?
It sure does. I'm anxious.
Smells like you're anxious to try one?
Yeah.
Smells like
I want you to wash your hands thoroughly, but I'm excited.
Definitely need to do that. I'm glad I baked them on 2 trays because they definitely are big cookies.
Yeah, they're huge. Actually, I was kind of wondering about that. I was wondering why the one was off on its own. That makes sense
Because
now.
I didn't think that they would fit on.
Yeah, they wouldn't have.
Look at that.
Nice and soft. Looks like it's gonna be chewy.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So it's a little bit crispy, it feels like, on the outside.
That's great. Soft in the middle. A little bit of crunch on the outside. Mm-hmm. Great flavor too. A lot of ginger.
Do you see the ginger crystal pieces in there?
No, there's literally pieces of ginger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the inside's super soft. Mm-hmm. Exactly how I like a cookie.
Perfectly cooked. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ginger is great. Mm-hmm. It's not just like ginger flavor. There's like a little bit of like that back of the throat
Heat.
Spice. Heat. Yeah.
Warmth. Mm-hmm. You want to pour me a cup of coffee?
Sure.
We're gonna go enjoy this. If you are interested in wild grain, I will link them as the first link down in the description box. And if you use code ACRE, you can get a special discount and free croissants for life. Thank you, Josh.
No problem.
Thank you, Wild Grain, for sponsoring this video. Thank you for being here. Because you're here, I got an opportunity to be sponsored by them. So I greatly appreciate you and them. We're gonna go sit down and enjoy this, and then we will get back to doing that deep cleaning project. Cheers. That cookie, delicious. Now that I've got a little bit more caffeine in me and we've had a little bit of a break, it's time to get going back out here. So you've already seen me vacuum once. I'm just gonna go through again, and I guess the only thing you haven't seen me vacuum are these, but let me just get everything vacuumed one more time. There's just like cobwebs, and there's like, I dried my garlic out here. So there's some like garlic stems and things like that that need to be composted. I want to wash all of this down and go into the winter with this room clean, so that when I'm going to start seeds in late winter, early spring, this will be a place that will be joyful to come into, and I won't have to dread having to clean it. Plus, I want to get this place clean so I can start using my freeze dryer again. At first, I didn't realize how dusty the actual grow shelves were. These are where I put my plants, and these are my grow lights. And I wasn't going to vacuum these off, and then I decided I was going to, and I'm really glad I did, because wow, were they really bad. So I vacuumed those. I vacuumed the tops of the lights because there's dirt that kind of piles on top of each light, because each shelf has trays of plants with dirt. And then I don't show it, but I do end up going through basically the entire room again, vacuuming the floor, vacuuming the corners of the walls, vacuuming the ceilings, vacuuming around the windows, vacuuming around the freeze dryer, around the black shelves that I keep my different things in, because it just felt like it needed one more vacuum before we go in and do kind of a wet wipe, where I actually wipe everything down with some water and a rag and pick up the last of the dirt and actually get it where it feels cleaner than just looking cleaner, if that makes sense. I did have the windows open when I was in here. A lot of the time when I was in here, there's a fan in this room, like an exhaust fan. I had that going, and right now I do have the door shut, but quite a bit of the time I was in here, I also had the door open. So there was lots of good airflow, and trying just to keep the overall dust level a little bit down. I think at this point I have run the vacuum over everything twice. All the insides I want to wash. I'm going to do that on a different day before I use that. I'm mostly just trying to get this room clean and organized. These I don't think need to be stored in here, so I'm going to put these somewhere else, and then we're going to start wiping everything down. It already feels so much better in here, which I'm really, really happy about. So let's see. I think what I'm going to start doing is taking care of all that stuff in there. Get a little water on these rags. Just kind of want to wipe everything down just to kind of get even more of that kind of like dusty feel. I probably should fill a bucket up with water. Probably would make the most sense. This is going to be the dustiest, dirtiest area because this is where obviously I put dirt, because these are my heat mats and this is where I start all of my seeds. I'm going to need to do a big seed inventory this year and see what I need to buy and what I already have a lot of. I need to get a bucket of soapy water, I think. I'm not going to do the seed inventory today, but that's just going to be something on my winter to-do list. And I would not want to do it in the state this room is in right now, because it wasn't a very pleasant place to be. I'm obviously going to need to clean up before I go to my sister's in-laws tonight. I think I'm going to call this rag done for today. So today I'm not going to take the time to like go through all these seeds and put them where they go and organize them. But I am going to get this area wiped down and get all my seeds in one spot. Clearly you can see there's not much organization going on right here. I probably have 100 seed packs that are not in their organizers, and that's okay, because I'll get to that on a different day. But I think what I want to do is at least get my seeds that are not in an organizer all in one spot, and then I can wipe down the rest of the areas. And some of you were concerned that I didn't save any of the bean seeds that we shelled. I did. I've got some of all my bean seeds here. Let's see. Some of these seed packets I know are empty. We're just gonna figure out which ones are empty on a different day. I did empty my garbage here and I put a new liner in it. Let's see, should we just take these out? I'm gonna at least get these plastic containers in their totes. I can do that today. That will make this area look a lot better. And then I can wipe down all this area. I'm not gonna worry about which containers are in which tote. All I'm gonna do is get my loose seed packets in one spot and get these containers in these totes for now. My local library has a really big seed library that you can donate seeds to and pick up seeds if you want. So that's something I want to do this winter, is go through these, because there's some varieties I'm just never going to grow, and I would rather them be somewhere that if someone wants to grow them, they could potentially pick them up and grow them, as opposed to just sitting in these organizers not serving any purpose. It's just because something's not my favorite variety doesn't mean it might not be someone else's favorite variety. Oh, let me vacuum that real quick. Much better. Those seeds I'll deal with later. For now, that looks a lot better. I was thinking I was gonna put my vinegar and salt on that bottom shelf there, but I have plenty of room in these black totes that I could put the vinegar and salt in here. Put these vinegars in here. Needs to be scrubbed down, but I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum it real quick. My mom and dad are gonna be at my sister's in-laws tonight, and so I'm gonna bring my mom this green stock wheelie base and wheels. So I'm not gonna put that away. She asked for it. Or she asked if I had an extra one, and I do, so I'm gonna bring that to her tonight. And this room feels so much more enjoyable to be in. I can't tell you how a good organization and cleaning project can just improve the way a space feels. After Josh and I got our basement organized with some stuff that had been in there for 3 years, feels so good. So much more enjoyable going out to the basement and grabbing, you know, a jar of this or a jar of that, or whatever it might be. And this feels really good. Like I said, I still need to do a deep clean on the inside of my freeze dryer before I use it, but I'm gonna do that on a different day. I wanna get the patio furniture stuff moved in here before the rains come. I'm gonna get this put away. I love this thing. We've had this since we had our first house when we did a huge remodel project on our first house. And I get so much use out of this shop vac. Here's what this space is looking like. I put my weed killer sprayer there. That's empty. I did rinse it out. You all said rinse it out after you use it and that will help it last longer. I don't know, I never thought about that. My watering can, seeds. I'm gonna bring this inside. This looks so clean. Oh, those need to go inside. Those might just have to be retired at this point. Clean, clean. So much better. I did clean the store over here. Just so much better. Okay, now let's bring in those cushions. Josh is in the middle of something, but when he's done, he'll bring down that can for me. That is garbage. That needs to go somewhere else, the chicken top, and he'll take care of that for me. But this is pretty easy. I can take care of this. He'll come out and help me to get those rugs. I'm not sure what I should do to try to get outdoor rugs to last longer than 2 seasons. Last season, I did not pull up these rugs at the end of the year, so they got rained on and stuff all winter. I could probably leave these cushions out here, but I think they will just do better if I put them inside. Plus, this big hill of cushions kind of blocks my view when I'm in the kitchen. And so I'd rather not look at it. I want to bring in, these are the couch cushions, and I want to bring in these chair cushions for the table. And about when we're ready to start using these next season is when I need those shelves. So this worked really well last year. Okay, so now I need to call Josh and ask him to come help me move some furniture. And he's gonna have to move those rugs because they are wet and heavy and gross. I did pressure wash them twice this season, but they just kept growing this algae and or bacteria, I'm not sure. It was kind of gross. All right, he is on his way down to help. Another project that needs to happen is some pruning of all the dahlias. I still have quite a few blooms, but at some point here, oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to move that. I need to cut back all these dahlia plants. See, I still have lots of blooms. So I've kind of just been holding off because I have been able to, these ones look a little bit rough, but this all needs to be cleaned up, and I have not finished putting the garden to bed yet. Oh, hi.
Bright.
It is bright. It's beautiful. Okay, so I think, unfortunately, these rugs are just trash at this point. Thank you.
Sorry.
You just flexed a box elder bug on me.
Oh, that's gonna be heavy.
Yeah.
Next to us. Oh, this one's much lighter.
Is it?
Like crazy lighter.
Josh is taking care of all those garbage items. I'm gonna get these toys back in here. I still need to scrub those, or at least that one, but I'll do that a different day. I think we're just gonna store them in here so they don't get rained on all winter. While Josh was working on taking all that down, I got my grill all scrubbed up. I grill at least once a week, and I do not, well, I guess it's not all scrubbed up, it's halfway scrubbed up. I do not cover it because if I covered it, I would not use it as much. And I can grill all year long because I have this little covered area. But what that means is because I don't cover it, I have to scrub the outside at least once a month. But I love grilling, and I'm excited to see how this works. It's only, Josh, what time is it? 2:50? Oh, it's only 3 o'clock. So we're going to be going to my sister's house tonight at 5:30. That's when everyone's supposed to meet over there. And so I probably won't cook this chicken up. I'll probably start the grill at like 4. It'll take 15-20 minutes to heat up so I can clean the actual grates. 15 minutes to cook the chicken, chop it up, put it in the slow cooker, and we'll see how that goes. Grill is clean. Patio furniture is put back. Those rugs are taken care of. Now I can see a lot better. But I do need to prune all those dahlias. Different day though. I actually got everything on my list done today that I wanted to get done, which feels amazing. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes I have to kind of take the things that didn't get done and put them onto another list. But today we were able to get everything done, which feels great. Feels so good in here. I do still need to clean that, but overall, oh, just look. When we come to start seeds, not for a long time, and when I go to do a seed inventory and organize, I'll be able to do that and enjoy it. And cushions are in here, safe. The only thing Josh and I were saying is, I don't think we put that cover on our table last year, and now water's gonna collect. It's almost like you need the cushions to have it come off, but we're just gonna leave it like that for now and see how it goes. I do feel more comfortable having these cushions in here as opposed to out there. This tree is beautiful. I love this tree this time of year. This tree. It gets even more orange. It just gets absolutely stunning. But I'll let you know how this chicken turns out. I'm gonna go relax for a little bit, clean up because I feel a little grimy after this big project. And then I'm just gonna grill the chicken. We're gonna have a fun family night. Lots of friends, lots of family are gonna be there tonight. Big old potluck. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And so it's just gonna be a great day. It's been a great day so far, and I can't wait for tonight. So friend, I just wanna thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me throughout this journey. Thank you, Wild Grain, for sponsoring this video. And if you're interested in them, they will be linked down below. And if you want to watch more of my videos, let me pop some here. You can go enjoy between now and my next upload. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, friend.